Hello everyone, this is Professor Hazel S. Matthias from the Department of Mathematics, Vishwanath Rao Deshpande Institute of Technology, Halyard. In the previous class, we were discussing about few examples on joint probability distributions, expectation and covariance. Let's discuss what do you mean by sampling distributions and what are the types of it. Let's begin today's class. Sampling theory. So now in our day-to-day life, it becomes quite often necessary to draw some valid, reasonable conclusions concerning a large mass of individuals or things. It becomes actually practically impossible to examine whether every individual or the entire group known as population. Suppose if you have to find out the literacy rate, how many are poor, how many are rich, so it is quite difficult to find out to go in each and every person's house and find out what is the literacy rate. So we may prefer to examine a small part of this population known as a sample with the motive of drawing some conclusion about the entire population based on the information or the result revealed by the sample. The entire process is known as a statistical inference. So what we do, suppose if we have to find the literacy rate or how many people have voted for it. So we take a sample of the population. That means we consider a particular group of that population in order to draw some statistical conclusions regarding that population. That a part of the sample or part of the population, it is known as sample. So let's discuss what do you mean by random sampling. A large collection of individuals or attributes or numerical data can be understood as a population or universe. So a subset of that universe is called a sample. You are taking a small group of that population which is known as a sample. The number of individuals in a sample is called a sample size. If the sample size n is less than or equal to 30, the sample is said to be small. Okay, suppose if n, the sample size is less than or equal to 30, then the sample is said to be small. Otherwise, it is a large sample. The process of selecting sample from the population is known as sampling. If you consider a set of people from that population, the process of selecting the sample from the population is known as sampling. Let's discuss what you mean by random sampling. The selection of an individual or item from the population in such a way that each has the same chance of being selected. That is known as a random sampling. Suppose we take a sample of size n from a finite population of size capital N. So there is capital N and we are choosing n out of them. So it will be possible, there will be NCN possible samples. So random sampling is a technique in which each of the NCN samples has an equal chance of being selected. That means selection of an individual or an item from the population in such a way that everyone has the equal chance of being selected. That is known as random sampling. Here there are two types, that is random sampling with replacement and random sampling without replacement. Sampling where a member of the population may be selected more than once is called a random sampling with replacement. There, what is it saying? When a member has the chance of getting selected more than once, that means when you take one person randomly, you can put them back so that he will have another chance of getting selected. So such sampling is known as a sampling with replacement. On the other hand, if a member cannot be chosen more than once, then it is called a sampling without replacement. Let's discuss about sampling distributions. Now suppose that we have different samples of size n drawn from a population. For each and every sample of size n, we can compute quantities like mean, standard deviation, etc. Suppose we group these characteristics according to their frequency. The frequency distributions so generated are called sampling distributions. We have learned before how to write the frequency. That means the number of students who fall under different category, those who have got marks between 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So we frame them. We will count how many students have got marks 20 to 40, say 5. How many students have got 40 to 60, say 10. So they are the frequencies, the number of people who fall under particular category. So that is what here it is saying. The frequencies and the frequency distributions so generated are called sampling distributions. That is, you have a sample, you write their frequency. The frequency distributions are known as sampling distributions. These can be distinguished as sampling distribution of mean, standard deviation, etc. The sampling distribution of large samples is assumed to be a normal distribution. We have learnt about this before. Now, the standard deviation of the sampling distribution is also called the standard error, S dot E. It's a standard form of that standard error. What's the standard error? The standard deviation of the sampling distribution is known as a standard error, and the reciprocal of the standard error is known as precision. Now, sampling distributions of the means. Sample mean is a statistic, and we discuss sampling distribution of the statistics. First, we consider random samples of size n and determine mean of each of these samples. We discuss the sampling distribution of the sample means for the two possible types of random sampling, that is with the replacement and without replacement for a finite population. So first case is that random sampling with replacement. Now here what happens, as we have discussed earlier, the items are drawn one by one and are put back to the population before the next draw. So there will be a chance they will be selected again. So that's why it says that random sampling with replacement. If capital N is the size of that finite population and small n is the size of the sample, then there are n power n samples are possible, because when we draw one, we will put back before the next. That's why there are n power n samples are possible, where capital N is the size of the population and small n is the size of the sample, that's a subset of the population. The mean mu x bar of the frequency distribution of the sample means will be equal to the population of the mean. Here note down this point, the mean mu x bar, mu x bar is a frequency distribution of the sample, which is same as the frequency distribution of the mean of the population. Then variance sigma x bar square of the frequency distribution of the sample means. Sigma x bar square, it is a variance which one frequency distribution of the sample means, which is same as the variance of the population. Variance is denoted by sigma square. So you can say that mu x bar equal to mu and sigma x bar square equal to sigma square divided by n. And sigma x bar is called the standard error of the mean. So suppose if anybody asked to find the standard error, you have to find sigma x bar, which is nothing but sigma square by n, where sigma square is the variance of the population. Next, we will discuss what you mean by random sampling without replacement. Here the items are drawn one by one and are not put back to the population before the next draw. So in this case, there will be NCN samples are possible. So we have the following result over here. This is going to be the same, mu x bar is equal to mu, that will be of the sample mean is same as the population of the mean of the population, whereas stands variance of the frequency distribution of the sample mean is nothing but n minus n divided by n minus 1 into sigma square divided by n, where you can take this as c times sigma square by n, where c is n minus n divided by n minus 1. It is called the finite population correction factor. So let's discuss few examples. 1, 2, 3 constitute a population. There are 3 members in the population. We form the sampling distribution of the sample means in the case of random samples of size 2 with replacement, random samples of size 2 without replacement. Here capital N, size of the finite population, that is 3. There are 3 members here. So size of this population is 3. Let's find the mean. That is, how do you find the mean? 1 plus 2 plus 3. There are 3 members, so divide by 3. It is nothing but 2. Then we will find the population variance, that is sigma square. That is nothing but 1 by n into x minus mu whole square. We have learned this before. N is 3. X minus mu, x is 1 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 2 whole square plus 3 minus 2 whole square. This is how we find the variance, that is nothing but 2 by 3. First case, that is random samples of size 2. Size of that sample, that is subset of this population which has size 2 with the replacement. That means once you draw, you can put it back. So various possible samples are of size 2. You have to form an ordered pair of size 2. It can be, first case is 1, 1, because when you take a sample of size 2, once you take 1, you can put back that 1 before the next draw. That is the meaning of with replacement. So first possibility is that it is 1, 1. Next possibility, when you choose 1, you can get second time 2. Next possibility is 1, 3. So then first you may take 2 and you may take 1. Second, you may take 2 and 2. 2 and 3. The third possibility is 3, 1, 3, 2 and 3, 3. Hence you can say that there are n power n, that is 3 power 2. Population consists of 3 members, sample size is 2. So there are 3 square, that is 9 such numbers are possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can form an ordered pair of 9 with the size 2. It is with replacement. Once if you choose something, you can put back that, so that the second chance also you will have that number might come back. So now here we have to find the means of this. How do you find the mean of this? It is nothing but 1 plus 1. It is 2. There are two numbers, 2 divided by 2, that is 1. Then 1 plus 2, 3. 3 by 2 is 1.5. 1 plus 3, 4. 4 by 2 is 2. Then here 2 plus 1, 3. 3 by 2 is 1.5. Next, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. We are finding the mean of each of these samples. Here is 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 by 2 is 2.5. Next, 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 by 2 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 by 2 is 2.5. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 by 2 is 3. So we have found the mean of these ordered pairs. Now we write the frequency distribution of these means. That means look at the numbers. What we have here? 1 we have, when we have 1.5, we have 2, we have 2.5 and we have 3. That is 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Now check how many times 1 is repeated. 1 is done only once. Then go for 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So the frequency is 2. Next go for 2. How many times 2 is repeated? 1, 2 and 3. So the frequency is 3. Next go for 2.5. 2.5 is repeated twice. So here it is 2. Next go for 3. Frequency is 1. So this is the frequency distribution table. From this frequency distribution table, find the mean and variance of this. So mean mu x bar, we have discussed about it, how to find the mean and the variance. Mu x bar is summation f x by summation f. This is the formula in the case of frequency distribution. So we have frequency distribution over here. You can make one more column for f into x. Then add up all those fx right over here. So here it will be 1 into 1 is 1, 1.5 into 2 is 3, 2 into 3 is 6, 2.5 into 2 is 5, 3 ones are 3 divided by sum of f. 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 2 8, 8 plus 1 9. So we will get 9, that is equal to 2. Let's find the variance. Sigma x bar square is summation f into x minus mu x bar square divided by summation f, that is summation f is 1 into f is here into x minus mu x square, that is 1 minus 2 whole square, plus then we have f is 2, 2 into 1.5 minus 2 whole square, then after 2 we have 3, 3 into 2 minus 2 whole square, then we have plus 2 into 2.5 minus 2 whole square, plus then we have 1, 1 into 3 minus 2 whole square. So when we simplify this, we will get the answer as 1 by 3. Thus we have here mu x bar equal to 2, sigma x bar square equal to 1 by 3, sigma square by n is 2 by 3, sigma square it is 2 by 3 divided by 2, that is equal to 1 by 3. Sigma, here we have sigma square. Sigma square is nothing but the mean of the population. You have to find the mean of the population. Here we have already found out, that is 2 by 3. So you will have sigma square by n is 2 by 3 divided by 2, that is nothing but 3. Now second case we will discuss when random sample of size 2 without replacement. Here we have it is without replacement, so there are NCN possible cases. So total population size is 3. Out of 3 you are taking a random sample size of size 2. So 3C2 is nothing but 3, that is NCR formula, n factorial divided by n minus r factorial into r factorial. We will get the answer as 3. Therefore, the 3 samples are, you have to find the random sample of size 2 without replacement. That means the numbers will not be repeated. When you take one number, you cannot put that number back before the next draw. So it will be 1, 2. If you choose 1, second option may be 2 or it may be 3 or 2, 3 or 3, 1. So these 3 are the samples. The associated means, that is 1 plus 2 divided by 2, it is 1.5, 2 plus 3 it is 5 by 2 is 2.5, plus then 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 by 2 is 2. So this is the associated mean. So further we have mean mu x bar, that is mean of this 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 2 divided by 3, that is equal to 2. Then variance sigma x bar square equal to 1 by 3 into we have 1.5, that is variance formula we know 1 by n into xi minus mu whole square. So it is xi is 1.5 minus 2 whole square, 2.5 minus 2 whole square plus 2 minus 2 whole square. So we get 0.5 by 3, that is equal to 1 divided by 6. So we have got it over here mu x bar. Mu x bar is 2. What is the population of the mean? That also we have discussed here. Population of the mean is also 2. See here, population of the mean is also 2. So we can conclude that mu x bar equal to mu, that is equal to 2. So here now we have mu sigma x bar square. Sigma x bar square. What is the formula for sigma x bar square? It is capital N minus n divided by n minus 1 into sigma square by n. Let's put all the values over here. Capital N is 3, small n is 2, 3 minus 1 into 2 by 3 divided by 2, that is nothing but 1 by 6. So sigma x bar square is nothing but 1 divided by 6. Now here also we can conclude that, look at this and this. This is the mean of the sample, which is same as what we have got it from the expression. So let's discuss the next one. The weights of 1500 ball bearings are normally distributed with mean of 635 grams and standard deviation of 1.36 gram. If 300 random samples of size 36 are drawn from this population, determine the expected mean and standard deviation of the sampling distribution of means if sampling is done with replacement and without replacement. So we have weights of 1500 ball bearings. So this is the population. N is 1500, which is normally distributed with a mean. Mu is 635. Standard deviation is 1.36. Then 300 random samples of size 36. So small n is 36. We have to find the expected mean and the standard deviation of the sampling in two cases. One is with replacement, one more without replacement. First is with replacement. Expected mean mu x bar, that is equal to mu. We have discussed this. Expected mean, that is mean of the standard frequency distribution of the sample means is same as the mean of the population. So expected mean mu x bar is same as mu, which is nothing but 635, and expected standard deviation sigma x bar is equal to square root of sigma square divided by n. Square root of sigma square is sigma divided by square root of n. Sigma is 1.36, square root of 36 is 6. So we will get is 0.227. Expected mean mu x bar is equal to mu 635. This is for the second case without replacement. Now without replacement, what is the expected variance? It is sigma x bar square equal to sigma square by n minus n divided by n minus 1. That is equal to sigma square. We have found out here it is given already 1.36. So 1.36 whole square divided by n, that is 36. 1500 minus 36 divided by 1500 minus 1, which is 0.05. So we have, this is sigma x bar square. So sigma x bar will be square root of 0.05, that is 0.224. To discuss the next one. Certain tubes manufactured by a company have mean lifetime of 800 hours. So mean is 800 and standard deviation of 60 hours. That's why sigma is 60. For the probability that a random sample of 16 tubes taken from the group, so sample size is 16, n is equal to 16, taken from the group will have a mean life between 790 and 810, less than 785, more than 820, between 770 and 830. We have discussed this type of problems before as well while discussing probability distributions. So let's discuss over here. This data is given. Sigma x bar is equal to sigma divided by root n. Sigma is 60 divided by root 16, that is 4, which is nothing but 15. Now if we have standard normal variate, that is z equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma x bar, that is equal to x bar minus mu is 800 divided by sigma x bar is 15. We have got it over here. Take this as 1. To find probability of 790, first case, probability of 790 less than x bar less than 810. So x bar is 790, z is minus 0.67. When x bar is 810, suppose if you put x bar as 810, 810 minus 800 is 10 by 15, which is nothing but 0.67. So we have to put the values of 790 and 810 over here. So now this gets transformed to probability of z, which lies between minus 0.67 to plus 0.67, which is nothing but 2 times the probability of z, which is lying between 0 to 0.67. So this is the probability of z such that it lies between 0 to 0.67 is nothing but phi of 0.67. From the normal probability table, you can find the value of phi of 0.67. It is 0.2486. When you multiply, you get 0.4972. So that is the probability of x bar, which lies between 790 to 810. Now less than 785 hours. So 785, probability of x bar less than 785. Now you have to put the form in the standard normal variate. Z bar equal to x bar minus mu by n. So when we put that, we'll get the value of z as minus 1. Probability of x bar less than 785 gets transformed to probability of z less than minus 1. That is nothing but probability of z greater than 1. How do you find probability of z greater than 1? It is probability of z greater than 0 minus probability of z, which lies between 0 and 1. So probability of z greater than 0 will be 0.5. Probability of z lies between 0 to 1 is phi of 1. From the normal probability table, phi of 1 value is 0.3413. So when you subtract, you will get 0.1587. Thus, probability of x bar less than 785 is 0.1587. Let's discuss the third one, that is to find the probability of x bar greater than 820. If x bar is equal to 820, find the standard normal variate z. That is 820, we have the standard normal variate over here. That is 820 minus 800 by 15. Here x bar is 820 now. So when you put that, you will get the z value as minus 2. If you put 830 minus 800 by value, we will get the value of z as 2. So probability of x bar which lies between 770 to 880 gets transformed to probability of z lies between minus 2 to plus 2, which is same as 2 times the probability of z which lies between 0 to 2. Probability of z lies between 0 to 2 is phi of 2. Phi of 2 value is 0.4772. So when we multiply, we'll get the answer as 0.9544. So this is the probability of x bar which lies between 770 to 830. So we have found here tubes are manufactured by a company. Their mean life is given and standard deviation is given. Now suppose if you consider a random sample of 16, we have found out the mean life in these 4 cases. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. You can also refer this article for your additional reference. Thank you.